Hey guys, welcome back to New World Carpentry Solutions. And in this video, I have one of my cousin's interior doors. He had solid wood doors throughout his house. One of them had came apart. So I am tasked with the lovely job of regluing everything. And one thing I didn't know about interior doors whenever they made them out of solid wood, I thought they were still, full tenon. These are actually just coping stick, similar to like a cabinet door. So it's like a little short stub tenon and a cope that follows the profile, around the interior of the door. And then they just slot into each other. Again, it's very similar to a cabinet door. One thing I need to do before I actually go into the regluing process that I didn't think about when I agreed to the task, let's see if I can get this close up to the camera, is focus. Will she focus? Better angle maybe. There is still glue in there, and some of the copes have more glue than others, but pretty much I need to scrape all that out because there isn't a full tenon that I can actually apply a lot of glue to. What's going to be holding the door together is this glue surface, and the camera probably didn't pick it up. Let's see if I can grab my chisel and scrape off the big piece. So that's what I'm going to unfortunately have to do, is come in and kind of just clean it all up with the chisel. I'm going to have to come in here. It's actually fairly brittle. I wonder how old the doors are. If they're really old, this could have been like a hide glue, but I don't think the house is older than like the 40s or 50s, so should be regular PVA, type boundary owners, just several years old. And this door, it actually broke because my nephews, they decided to hang on the edge of a wooden door. Then they asked me to glue it together, and I was highly skeptical that they were even going to have all the parts. All the parts here. I'm going to need to go through this very tedious process of tearing off all the glue. I don't really know what I'm going to do about the curved section yet. I don't have like a card scraper, let alone one that's small enough to really get in there. Let's see if I can scrape it with my chisel. Yeah, I want to make sure that there isn't any old glue still on that joint. And again, some people will just replace it with a regular hollow core door or spend the extra money and get a solid core door. But considering that all the doors in the house are solid wood, and I would recommend salvaging this one. But to make this process not so terrible, I'm going to sit up on my bar stool at my workbench and watch TV. But I just wanted to make sure I can get you guys a close angle of what I'm about to have to do. This rounded edge is what I'm really concerned about. Okay, now I can get it in carbon in there. What I'll do is also stay away from the very outside of this joint, because if I carve too much, I still want to make sure that it comes together nice and tight. But again, clear up enough to where I can get a glue bond. Essentially what I'm saying is that as I'm rotating my chisel, if I'm carving all the glue that's on this surface, if I change that radius too much, I want to make sure that still at the outside edge, it will still fit nice and snug so when everything closes together. And this is just going to be, glue surface. And again, I'm not taking out a lot, but I am possibly changing that radius because I'm doing it with a flat chisel versus, a router actually shaped like that. And if I did have this actual coping stick bit, it'll probably be a lot easier just to rerun this through the router table. I actually wish I did have it, because then I can just set the router table up to this profile, get it lined up and dialed in right, and then I can just run each piece through the router, and now clean up the glue. Would make this go a lot faster. It's almost, I'm doing this for free, love and affection. But almost makes me want to go buy that router bit. Because then I'll at least have it on hand for if I want to make really quick interior doors. Also, gotten fairly smart. I got one copyright strike before for watching One Piece, but it was on a video that was normal speed. So this process, I had to make sure that the TV's not in the background. But when I actually get over here and start carving all these pieces, I'll speed it up. You won't hear the audio from the TV, so there won't be any copy strikes. So I want to make sure that I get all the explaining of what I'm doing, why I'm doing it out the way. And then we're gonna switch over to me fast forwarding, cleaning up the rest of these. That's really good. I have plenty of raw wood in here for glue surface. This side, this is the really bad side. This is the one I'm really gonna show you guys. Focus. Yeah, there's a ton of wood glue all in there. And it's not just on this lip, but it actually rolls around to this edge and all up in there. So what I'm doing is taking my chisel and cleaning it up as good as I can without changing this profile and radius right here. And actually, look at these. Looks like it did not glue any of the mid rails. Mid styles, sorry. Styles and rails. But it looks like all the mid styles, they ran down the middle. Doesn't look like there's any glue on these. These were just pressure fitted in. All the gluing actually happened, looks like, where the actual rails met the styles, and no glue on the styles going up. I guess that's what they did to make the glue up less stressful. And I was actually thinking about applying glue to every single cope and stick joint. But considering this is a pretty intricate door, it has 6 panels on it. 1, 2, 3, 4 rails. So I think to keep my insanity level down, I might not apply glue to any of the mid styles and only apply glue to the 4 rails. Also makes my scraping a little, well, I don't know. We'll see what kind of time we have when we actually get to the assembly process. Hopefully, again, we don't run out of time. And then also need to get on the phone with my cousin to get the proper orientation. I don't know if the hinges are on the left. Doesn't really matter. But I glue up the door and I have this side over there. Door can still be spun around. As long as I have top, middle. I don't know. I'm just gonna make sure I know which way the door is swinging, so before I go into the glue up, I know, hey, this needs to be on this side, or maybe it needs to be flipped over. I'm gonna think about that and see if that even matters, but yeah, I'm gonna get all those details before I go into the actual glue up. But you guys are about to pan around over here, watch me watch a little TV. It's my first time watching Black Mirror, so that's kind of what I got going on for me. Starting at season 1, so hopefully it gives me something to binge for the next, week or 2. So we're going to binge through Black Mirror while I scrape all the glue off of all the rails, because there's no glue on any of the styles, thankfully. And I'm debating. Let me know down in the comments if it's, you know, anything other than like glue up time, I wonder why they did not glue the mid rails. Because again, there's no full tenons on any of this joinery. I would think they would have, you know, applied glue here just to keep this joint nice and strong. Because they left room for all the panels so they can still expand and contract. No glue in there, but I would have thought they would have glued the mid styles. So it might have just been again, you know, glue open time, not having enough time. So as long as your door is locked in, you know, between the outside styles and the rails, all this can kind of float around in the middle. We'll see. I might apply glue if I have that kind of time. We might not, because I probably won't. But let's get you guys over here so we can start cleaning up all these copes. Alright. This is one of the things I love about the shop. I have these bar stools that get me right up here to workbench height. So for projects like this, even though it's tedious and I really don't like it, I'm able to knock them out. But from here on, the rest of the footage is going to be sped up so we don't get copyright stricken. Ooh, that took a little bit, but we have them all chiseled out and clean. And while I was doing this process, it kind of dawned on me that I think because none of this has glue on it, what they did was fully assemble these panels beforehand. Go ahead and drop the rail on. You know, drop it in like so, and then they just glue this one side and drop it on. So I think that's probably how I'm going to do this assembly, I think. So I pretty much have all these pieces already put together. And then go ahead and assemble. That's the method. I'm gonna get all these center pieces put in, and then I still need to call my cousin to figure out, because yeah, does that make a difference if I glue this up like that? That is now a right hand, because hinges facing into the room. I glue it up on that side. It's for a bathroom. They said it swung out though. So this should be the right side. That'll make it a right hand outswing. And if it swings in, it'll be a right hand in swing. And if I put it on this side, it still would be a right hand in swing and or outswing. So I don't think it matters which way I glue this. One like that still has back to the hinge, swinging this way, swinging that way. And if I flip it over, it's still the same thing. Okay, so yeah, that doesn't matter. So yeah, I'm about to go ahead and prep to do the assembly, get all these lined in there, then go through the glue up process. And yeah. And if you guys enjoyed the content, please let me know down below. If you guys have any questions, leave a comment, like, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.